Hi everyone, and welcome back to my No Buy Year. Today I wanted to talk about the easiest way to stop shopping and give you two kind of categories of things to try. So this is kind of going to be a reflection on the things that have helped me curb my shopping habits so far in my No Buy Year. So the main trick to stopping the shopping flow in your life, the habits, is disrupting the cycle of seeing something, wanting it, and then buying it. And then it kind of just rinses and repeats. So we have to disrupt that habit. We have to break the cycle. This cycle is also usually underpinned with some feelings or some emotional triggers or some kind of deeper habits, deeper maybe life problems to grapple with. This is not what this video is about. We're not delving to that level today. We're just dealing with the purely practical and somewhat logistical nature of the see it, want it, buy it cycle and how to break it. Maybe we'll delve deeper into the underpinnings of what's beneath that cycle in another video, in a dedicated conversation, but we'll keep it to the practical today. So like I said, there were two kind of categories or arenas of things to explore. And the number one arena is to stop yourself from seeing things. So to put the blinders on. So the number one thing that meant for me is to remove myself from short form social media, where I would just see products flying by on my screen. I didn't have the ability to click on the video that I was going to see before it appeared magically through the magic of algorithmic technology, and assaulted my eyeballs with something that I might want. So I had to step back and turn around and not look at all of that going on behind the screen of my little rectangular box of entertainment and also some practical value, right? Calling and texting and maps. But like beyond that, I had to let this thing go, cut down my time, purchased a little phone jail for it actually, which was on my 6-month no buy update of things I did buy, because I had an extreme phone habit. And I'm still working to cut that down and spend my time more mindfully. But stepping away from the short form social media really put the kibosh on the seeing it part of that cycle. So I wouldn't see the stuff, and therefore I wouldn't want the stuff. It's kind of as simple as that. And I think one of the reasons this was so effective for me is because at the point where I wanted something, it became so hard to deny myself that thing. So if I'm not seeing the things to want, all of the work of grappling with myself, of wrestling with myself, of when I already wanted something and had to tell myself no, that was all gone because I didn't see the thing in the first place. Less things were coming across my radar to have that mental battle with myself about. And that was a huge game changer. And you can even see that on the development of this channel. At the beginning of the year, I had things I wanted to buy but didn't every single month, and that was often a long video of things I wanted to buy but didn't. Again, the focus was on the stuff. The focus was on the things that I'd seen flying across my screen more often than not. It was very rare for me to be influenced by something I'd seen in real life. It was usually something virtual that probably looked really good on whoever was showing it, on the camera, on whatever the media was. But it looked really good and I wanted it, and at the point where I started wanting it, it was super hard to tell myself no. Even this year on my no buy year, I ended up caving a few times, and you might have already seen those examples. I can link my failures up here. But now I do not have such long lists of things I wanted to buy but didn't, if any. And, you know, so far this month, so far since my 6-month update, I haven't bought anything. I haven't wanted anything. There's no screenshots on my phone of things I saw that I wanted to buy that I'm not buying. So hopefully this holds. Hopefully this isn't some temporary blissful period of not wanting to buy things and I'll have to battle it all again, especially over the sales season of Black Friday in November. But we'll see what comes up. Subscribe if you want to be here for that and join that journey with me. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. Putting on the blinders and not seeing the stuff really helped me stop shopping. The second category of things that you can do to help yourself stop shopping is to inoculate yourself with information. Arm yourself with the knowledge that makes you not want to buy things, that makes you not want to shop, that makes you not want to support problematic practices. You know, however you have to put it to yourself or want to put it to yourself. Get the knowledge, get the ammunition, so that when you do have that battle, when you do possibly want something, you have the weapons, the resources, the mental map of tricks ready for yourself to talk yourself out of wanting whatever it is that you might want. To tell yourself it's not worth it for all of these reasons. And I guess it even works before you want something, right? If you have all these opinions about consumer culture and you see something that you might have wanted before, but now you have all this information, you might actually not even want that thing anymore. I think I talked about it in my de-influencing video, which might have come out recently. I don't know what order things are coming out these days, but I mentioned how it seems like every brand is creating the same product. And it used to be in my past habits of consuming that would have made me want to try every version of the product to find the best one. Now, however, I have since had a different experience with this no buy year, but also with just seeing this happen more and more and more, seeing influencers get sent these things for free as PR, so they have every brand's version of this product. They'll test it and review it in some cases, or they'll just show it on the screen as PR and have it fly in front of your eyeballs. But I see it now. I see it for what it is. It's just a way for companies to get you to buy another thing that you don't need. If I already have something that's fulfilling a need, I don't need a new version. I don't need to try the latest release. I don't need to play into the game of consumerism where there's always going to be new things created for me to want and buy. I see it for what it is now. So I guess that general category of information to arm yourself with is just the practices of advertising, marketing, PR, constant production of new things, and the culture of trends, wanting the next best thing, cultivating the desire through it girls and elevating these products to that status of cool, having aesthetics that these products will fit into, making the aesthetics trending. It all plays into the same end goal of making you want to buy stuff and want stuff, and to some extent making you see more stuff by having it featured in more and more places. And then the kind of more serious concern here, or information to arm yourself with, is the environmental concerns, the waste, the climate crisis, the ethical responsibility of not consuming more than we actually need. I guess it's the being a good person information, right? So the more you know about shopping and the waste and the climate crisis and all that kind of stuff, the more you can get this sense that it's not a good person thing to do, to buy, to shop, to consume more than you need, to give in to the excess. So I don't like the whole moral judgment of it. I'm not a huge fan of making shopping or not a moral decision. But I guess in some ways, once you have the information, it unavoidably becomes a moral decision. And I'm not trying to do that for you. I'm not trying to make it moral for you. I'm just sharing that for me, it has become moral because of what I know now and because of what I see now. And now every time I order something online or think about it, I also think about how many pieces of plastic are going to come in this order. How many bubble wraps or peanuts or whatever that are not going to be recyclable are going to be in this order, or going to take centuries to decompose. And what I'm ordering might be used within a week or a year or a few, whatever it is. It'll be consumed and possibly even decluttered, which is another problem that I've talked about. But now, the lasting effects of that waste, the plastic waste, or the carbon emissions of the trains or trucks or planes that are delivering things to me, like this registers in my brain now in a way that it didn't before. And so now shopping has come to be an unavoidable moral conundrum. I might even make a dedicated video on this later after I've had my thoughts a little bit more sorted and mulled over and have a more clear idea of my thoughts on that, but that's just another piece of the puzzle of the information to be equipped with in order to talk yourself out of buying something you don't really need. It's not very fun, but I think it could possibly be important, so there we go. And there's also the human rights component as well, like especially in the fashion industry. We know now that many people are not paid a living wage for the work that they do, and I'm just not okay with that. And thinking about that and thinking about how I have a closet full of clothes and I don't need any more, and it would be a long time before I really needed something. And if I chose to buy something, I would be giving my money to a company that doesn't pay living wages to produce their products. Like, that just doesn't sit right with me. And of course, there's thrifting and all that, and I'm going to get to that, if I have not already, in a dedicated video on the traps of resale and all that. So I have thoughts on that too. Going back to the subject matter here, all of the moral negative things have helped me not shop. Let's get back to maybe more the fun side of information to arm yourself with, and that is the fantasy of shopping. And if you truly realize that shopping itself as an act, as a hobby, as an activity, most of the fun had in this activity is not the actual acquisition of the item. It might be the first few days of having the item, sure, but after that, the fun has to start over for it to be fun, for shopping to be fun. Like, you have to find something new to research, to want, to do the search and find process on, comparison. The actual having of the item is not the fun part of the shopping process if shopping is a hobby. So the fantasy of shopping realization really helps me not want to shop anymore, because it's really something that never ends, something that's never going to stop, something that you can't just be done with if that is a way that you have fun, if that's a pastime for you. I guess if you have other hobbies and pastimes, right, you continue to do them throughout your life or throughout a longer period of time. It might not be a lifetime, but say you get really into bowling or whatever. You're going to go bowling, and then you're going to go bowling again. And then maybe next week you'll go bowling a couple more times, and each time you'll have fun. And then when you're not bowling, you are aware that you can go bowling again and have fun. Maybe this is not a perfect example. There's even, crafting projects and projects that are cumulative. If you're knitting a sweater, you see the progress of your knitting and go back and do it again, and you know it's there. And if shopping is in that category for you, where you shop for something, you buy something, that's, one session of bowling, and then next few days you're going to do it again and get that same kind of fun experience, and then next week you're going to do it again. Like, it just never ends. But it's not the same as an activity like bowling, where you're not really consuming that much, right? You're renting the space and the shoes and the ball, and you don't take anything with you. If you're crafting, you have, one dedicated project that takes all that time and maybe doesn't use as many resources as shopping. I know shopping is necessary in some portion for some crafting activities, so I'm not addressing that in this video, but my point is, if the actual activity or hobby is shopping, it's never going to end. It's not just going to be like you're done with that. And if shopping is a hobby for you, then you should probably stop doing that, first of all. You should probably not have that as a hobby. But if it's an activity that you do repeatedly, it might be one of your hobbies, which is something that I didn't realize about myself until doing this No Buy year, that it had functioned as something to do in my spare time. And now that I realize that that's what I was doing in my spare time, and it was a hobby, and I can see it now for what it is, where it's not something that just stops. It wasn't like I was telling myself, where I'll just buy this one thing and my collection will be complete and I'll be done shopping. It wasn't like that, because it was like the bowling example where I wanted to go do it again. So now that I've removed that from my menu of hobbies, my habits towards shopping are a lot better and easier to manage. Hopefully that made sense. The bottom line is, having the knowledge of shopping as a fantasy experience and something that never ends has really helped me curb my shopping habits. And in all honesty, I'm still probably better at number one, the first category of just not seeing the thing, than I am at number two of having the information and stopping myself from wanting things. Because, like I said earlier, I really find it easier to not want things in the first place than it is to talk myself out of something that I really do want. Progress has definitely been made in both categories though, because I do want fewer things that I see. So I do think these things go strongly hand in hand, and I know personally both of these avenues of exploration have helped in my increased levels of success in this No Buy year. So if you are currently in the midst of a shopping habit that you want to change, maybe try some of these things. The first category of putting the blinders on, limiting your exposure from wherever you see the things that you want. It might be short form social media like it was for me. It might be long form like here on YouTube. It might be in real life. But whatever you can do to limit your exposure, try that. And then also inoculate yourself. Provide yourself the vaccinations that you need to not want to buy the things that you see. The information of whatever convinces you the most, whether it's the ethics, the environmental waste, the fact that advertising is trying to get you to buy stuff. Marketing teams are behind the scenes engineering their campaigns to get you to buy. And the fact that it's an experience that never ends. You'll never be satisfied if it's something that you do for fun. All of that knowledge. Arm yourself up and prepare to change your habits. And if you need support, I'll always be here. You can always leave a comment and share your story where you're at, and I will try to reply, and as always, offer my presence here as a support to anybody on the same journey. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap this one up here today. Hopefully this has been helpful. Whether or not it's truly the easiest ways to stop shopping remains to be seen. If you have easier ways to stop shopping, I mean, I guess another easy way to stop shopping is to just not have money, right? Not have access. So there's that too. Remove your access, remove your money, put it all in a savings account, put it all in a Roth IRA. Okay, we're devolving. I better go now. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.